Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Disc Golf. We're in Campbell Valley Park in the Greater Vancouver region for the 2022 BC Open, and this is the practice round. Hole 1 is deceptive because it's an open field. You're basically throwing straight at the basket with a little bit of hazard on the left. So either a forehand falling right or just a straight shot right at the basket and then tap it in for birdie would be perfect. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I said that number 1's a little bit deceptive because it's so open, and that's because the second half of the course is in the woods and the rough is super rough. Nobody's been digging through it for discs, so it's all like tight brambles and basically impossible to throw out of. Versus something like this where as long as you don't go into the hazard, you're pretty much okay. Oh wow, the CTP is so close. That's insane. Hole 2 is a 620-foot par 4 with a hard dogleg left. Basically, throw it to that gap between the bushes, making sure to not go in the bushes, then throw up towards the basket. Those bushes there are super rough, so as long as you're not in them, generally it should be okay. Being a bit of a noodly arm, I want to throw right to that gap there and then lay out into the open field, but it can get super windy right by that gap, so who knows how it'll treat the disc. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yesterday when I was doing the practice round, I ended up in these bushes on the left because I threw too stable of a disc. Let me just say, they are thick. These are super sharp thorn bushes. So during the tournament, it's going to be super important to stay out of the bushes, stay in the nice open field. So now I have a throw about that same distance in the opposite direction towards the basket down there. Awesome. This course is a temporary course for the BC Open, which happens in about 2 weeks after this video was filmed. And you'll see lots of wooden structures around because this is originally a horse jumping arena. Look at that, that's absolutely perfect. As good as it can get. For me at least. Short. Oh, that was low. Did not account for the wind there at all. Well, at least it's par. Hole 3, 760-foot par 4 downhill. Ignore the basket on the right, we're actually going to the further basket on the left. So basically throw as far as you can, try and keep it on the upside of the hill to get around that tree and put it in for par. Here goes. Quite a lot of headwind right now too. With this downhill, it definitely plays a little bit more like a 500-foot hole. But there are a couple things to keep in mind. One, because this is a horse riding arena, some of the ground is not level. There's like random hoof prints here and there, little holes that you can step in and twist your ankle. And number 2 is that this hay kind of grass is actually quite slippery. It doesn't provide that good a grip on my runners. It was a lot better when I was wearing hiking boots, but man, it's hot out here today. Bummer. And that right there is how easily a 4 turns into a 5. Hole number 4, 240-foot par 3. It's a straight uphill and then a little bit of a left turn, and the basket is elevated on top of one of those horse jumps. Essentially, if you get around the first 3 on the left, you should be fine looking for a birdie or par. I definitely threw that a little bit straighter than I hoped to, and now I have another sort of edge of circle 2 putt. But as long as I'm not in that bush during the tournament, I'll be happy. Yep, that's perfect. Right on top of the horse jump. Hole number 5, 560 foot par 4 downhill. There's a Mando on the far right tree pushing you left towards the basket. So my play is going to be to throw it down just past the horse jumps, chip up, and hopefully get it in for birdie. Just don't throw it in the bushes. Holy, that wind bounce. Well, that was unideal too. Thankfully it's not this tree that's the Mando, it's that next one down that's guarding the tee box. I think I'm somewhere in this grass. Get another long putt. Thankfully this one's for birdie though and not for par. I hit the basket, not bad. Woo. Number 6 is a 335 foot dogleg right. If you've got a solid forehand, this is the shot for you. Shoot it as far as you can go and hope it falls right towards the basket. All right, that was not the right disc for this. Let's see if I have a solid forehand. Yeah. I definitely could have hugged a little tighter to these trees, but I'm really terrified of going into them because they are Bramble City. Okay, that was really short, but take it. Can you see it? It's right in the middle of the frame there. Can you see it? Bramble City, my God. So what was that about not throwing second discs? Yeah? Oh my gosh. The only reason I got in there was because I basically manhandled my way through it. Oh, so close. I want to give you the bush adventure. Real experience. Hole number 7, 625 foot par 4. The basket is basically straight behind us, but there's no straight route without going over about 400 feet of OB. So if you've got 425 to 450 foot uphill, go for it. But if not, you're going to be going out to the right hand side towards that other basket, down this narrow little alleyway of safe ground, and then up towards and into the basket. I double bogeyed this last time, so let's try and beat it this time. What we got to do basically is just go straight towards that other basket with a forehand, I think. Try and land somewhere in the middle, and then I don't know from there. We'll find out. Yeah, okay, very safe. Very safe. I'm in the intermediate division, and I think that if I single bogey this, it'll be strokes on folks, to be honest. This is probably one of the hardest holes I've ever played, just because the OB channel is so incredibly narrow down the middle here. Like the entire side of that hill up there is OB. The entire left side of these little tiny red flags are OB. So I'm just gonna try and keep this second one in. But that's not even gonna be safe. Yeah. Now we go into the bushes. Oh. And that, friends, is how to take a solid double bogey. Oh, at least I got that one in. Hole number 8, par 3, 280 feet downhill. There's tons of OB right, so make sure if you do swing wide out over the OB that you get back in bounds, because it starts short, and if you miss that shot and don't get back in bounds, you're only gonna advance 30 feet off the tee. There we go. Okay, I think I barely made it in. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh heck yes. Left hand. Ugh. That jankiest left hand putt ever. Hole number 9 is a 530-foot par 4. Straight through the trees, slight dogleg left, and then about 150 feet to the basket. We're really getting into the meat and potatoes of the course here. This is where I find the course incredibly challenging just because of how thick that brush on the sides are. I'm going to try and throw whatever is as straight as I can, land in that clearing, throw something that hooks around the corner, and then chip up to the basket. Stay out of it. Like last time I shanked it into the bushes on the left and it took me maybe 15 minutes to find my disc. And we got 2 other groups behind me here, and then they're cleaning up the course for the day. So I really just got to get this out of the way as quick as I can. Let's see. How deep in the bushes did we go? Oh, we made it through, no way. Check it out. This is pretty good. Yeah, perfect. So this is a bit of a complicated putt still. I'm going to actually make one for once. Oh. Woo. Number 10 is a 325-foot par 3, and the basket is straight ahead. Should be easy peasy, right? Well, there's a couple trees on the left, a couple trees on the right, and the basket is sunk into the ground. So for me, a nice flex shot to get up there. Flick forehand might do it for you, but I'm just going to try and put it in the clearing right before the basket, and then... Oh, that's the one thing we didn't want to do. Did the one thing that you shouldn't do at any part on this course and put it into the brambles. Okay, it is right on the edge, but how do you play from that? Like, look at this. Look at where we have to go. I don't know. There we go. Easy 4, easy 4. Hole 11, 300-foot par 3 with a sharp dogleg right at the end of the flight. Perfect for a forehand. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, that's pretty much as perfect as it'll get for me. Hopefully I did not end up in the bushes. This woodsy stuff here, not too bad though, as far as woodsy stuff goes. Just a little short. Hey, par. Number 12 is a tightly wooded 290-foot par 3. Essentially just keep it in the middle, stay out of the bushes on the left and the bushes on the right because they are thick. Other than that, straight ahead, steady as she goes. Maybe a flick forehand to try and get around that one tree in the middle. Okay, where I landed is just fine. Definitely could have thrown it a little bit harder, but I was worried about going into the bushes again and having to hunt. Off to the right here isn't so bad, but off to the left it's thick brambles, and it sucks. Okay, very nice. Number 13 is a 660-foot par 4, throwing straight out into that field, a little left turn, and then down another fairway of trees. For me, the ideal throw is out into the open space, then I can line it up down the fairway, put it up to the basket, and put it in for 4. Oh no, the wind. Get around it. Okay, I think I'm somewhere right in this area. Well, I can almost see the basket from there. Definitely the ideal play would be to flex it out into the open field a little bit more, but you know, we are where we are, so. Oh good, I only grazed the trees. Hole 14 is another long par 4 at 560 feet. Throw straight and far, then turn hard right. There's a giant oak tree guarding the basket. I think I hit a marshmallow. All right, another long straight forehand. Okay. I may have hugged the trees just a little too much with that shot, but hopefully we made it out to the other side. So we made it through. Sweet. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Now that we're out of the wind, putting is so much easier. Hole 15 is a 320-foot par 3, basically downhill and straight ahead. It looks like one of the easier holes on the course, but I think this one will be the difference maker in terms of score, because if you go into those bushes on the side, you might have to take relief and take a stroke. Just like that. Okay. We'll see if that's in the bushes or not. Okay, hopefully I'm before this really thick brambly stuff. See the basket there in the middle of that little tree diamond? And this is where we ended up. How am I supposed to throw through this? This back here is Disc Narnia. That's what I mean when I said this hole might be the difference maker in terms of score. Is that people like me in the bushes having to chip out will easily take 4s, while other people with nice straight shots will be getting 3s and 2s. Did I say that hole 15 is the easiest hole on the course? Well, it's probably actually hole 1 or hole 16. Hole 16 here is a 266-foot par 3, and it's more or less dead ahead. The only thing that can really go wrong is hitting one of those early trees, or maybe shanking it into the road or hitting the marshmallow or something. But, you know. Okay. Easy enough. Hole 17, 590-foot par 4. This one is super tightly wooded, so just keep it straight, keep it in the fairway, then chip out to the open section where the basket's located. From there, put it in, and I made it sound super easy, but it's definitely not. Yeah, just like that. That's exactly where I wanted to go. At least we did what we said this time instead of throwing it into the bushes off to the side. The basket is somewhere out there beyond, but anyways. Number 18, last hole, 280-foot par 3 with an island green. Drop zone is up at the edge by that horse jump there, so if you don't get it into the island, then you're going to that horse jump for 3. And it is a jump putt from there, so it's not the end of the world, but it's best to get it on the island, then put it into the basket for 2. Threw it up into the air, but I'm safe, barely safe. Okay, so here's the drop zone, these 3 flags. It's through the horse jump, and what is that, 80 feet, 100 feet? Well, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this walkthrough of the 2022 BC Open's Campbell Valley course. If you can't get out to this course for a practice round before the tournament, just keep in mind to stay out of the bushes. Otherwise, this course might utterly wreck you. Those brambles are thick. Anyways, we'll see you in the next video. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff.